Hello, hello. All right, let me know in the chat if you guys can hear slash see me. It has been a while since I've done any live streaming. Hey, Stuart. How's everybody doing? Let me know in the chat if you can see and hear me. There's an echo. Uh, how's it going, Rob? All right, you're saying there's a bad echo. How about now? There's definitely, I mean, this room is somewhat echoey. Hopefully it's not too bad. I just adjusted the mix a little bit. Let's see. Two sources at the same time? Could be. Me. I'm good at camera stuff, but live streaming is a whole other beast. All right, did that fix anything? Oh, this is good now? All right, well, now I've disabled my audio inputs on the other scene, so we'll see how this goes. Hey, Danny Fell, Black Magic Pocket mates. You know it. How do you all feel about the update that came out the other day? There's been so many questions on. I uploaded 2 videos in a row, and there was obviously tons of comments and those types of videos. I love how no one believes me that I don't have any insider information on Blackmagic stuff. Blackmagic is one of those weird companies that they don't. They truly they work with creators. Like if I have questions or issues, they'll answer things like that. But when it comes to new stuff, they truly do not tell us anything. They don't do they don't do sponsored videos. They do not work with creators the same way that a lot of other companies do. So yeah, I promise you that when I got that tweet the other day, the same time everyone else did, of hey, here's this update, then that's when I run and make the video. And then what I thought would be cool is something like this, where a couple days after we have a bunch of comments, there's follow-up questions. I still have questions, so I figured it'd be fun to kind of talk about, the update on the Blackmagic camera, what we hope to see in DaVinci Resolve. Obviously, this channel's around editing. And then keep up with the chat, Michael. That's the important thing. Stuart asks, do you think there will be a 8K full frame camera coming out soon from Blackmagic? Oh man, I mean, we just finally got a 6K full frame sensor, and so that I don't know if we will see another sensor coming soon, but we did randomly get a 12K out of the blue a number of years ago, so they could be working on other sensors. I could see if they wanted to keep the pocket line 6K, and then if they wanted to come out with a full frame version of the Ursa Mini Pro. But my gut's telling me that if they do a updated Ursa Mini Pro, it will probably be a 6K Super 35 sensor. But that's just my total guess. I would love to see an 8K full frame. But I will say my Ronin 4D here is 8K. And although resolution is cool, man, anyone who shoots 6K and up pretty much knows that it can become quite the headache to be constantly having to buy new hard drives, to dump footage, go through it. It's a lot to manage past just shooting. And the cameras themselves, I mean, you sacrifice frame rates. I'd almost rather keep a camera 6K and start to see higher frame rates at higher resolutions. So it makes me sad that there's still no Blackmagic camera that is 4K 120, or I shouldn't say no Blackmagic camera. The 12K has 8K 120, which is great, but on the full frame Blackmagic camera, I believe it's 2.8K at, or 2K at 120. I think it's even worse than the 6K Pro. Yeah, Danny asks, it's final version or is it beta? I believe that's the question. There's a little heart. Or is it beta? The latest camera update, it is technically the beta. It is a public beta. And the thing about Blackmagic and public betas is they are quite good in my experience. I'm constantly running the public beta version of DaVinci Resolve, and I think there's only been one time in the past maybe 5 years that I've had to revert to the public release version. On the cameras as well as Resolve, I've always had a good experience, but I have heard from I think 2 or 3 people that they updated their pocket camera to 8.6 and they did experience Bluetooth issues. Now, I didn't have time yet to really dive in to see if I was having that issue, so that's what this podcast is for, right? So Bluetooth is on again, and I utilize the Bluetooth Plus app. I don't know if you guys use this with your Blackmagic cameras, but let's see if I can connect. The Bluetooth Plus app is incredible. It looks like I need to re-add it. Let me cancel here and connect. Have any of you guys updated and had issues with the update since it came out? Multitasking. All right, let's see if it will connect. It says it's connected. Yeah, it's always a risk, but one thing that I do like about Blackmagic, let me change my screen here. All right. Hopefully you guys can hear me still. If I go to Blackmagic's website, I know most people know this, but the thing that I love about their support page is they have all the downloads to past versions of the of their updates, right? So if you were to have an issue with the Blackmagic camera, for example, so we can see the public beta. If you have some issue, you can always go back to previous versions and say like 8.4 was supported by your camera. I forget which one this was. Then you could just go in and re-download it and reinstall that. So unlike a lot of betas like Apple betas and stuff like that, where once you update, you know, you're kind of fully taking that risk and you're kind of screwed if something happens. With Blackmagic stuff, whether that's Resolve or, you know, the cameras, you can basically always revert back to a past version. All right, I gotta say, I may potentially be having a Bluetooth issue. It says it's connected on the phone. Let's see if it will actually connect here. There we go. One. Hit pair. I think we're all good. Let's see. iPhone is connected. We go back to this. Yeah, so for anyone curious, let me get my settings back there. So let me hit recording on here and it records on there. So yeah, this app is great if you haven't played with it. It's not actually a Blackmagic app, it's third party. It's a one-time cost, I believe. It's not too expensive. And it's great. It allows me to remote start, stop, change settings on the camera, and it seems to still work just fine with the update. So at least I'm not experiencing any Bluetooth connection issues that other people seem to be having. Uh, let's see. Yeah, a lot of great features. Definitely the view clips. That seems to be more controversial than what I initially thought, but I do understand both sides. And because for those who don't know, like a lot of people don't want single clip deletion, and a lot of people have argued against the feature for many years um, on Blackmagic cameras and cinema cameras in general, is because the way data is written to memory cards is it's not like a linear thing always. Like data kind of gets passed around, and so when you add and then delete things, that data, the ones and zeros kind of go in different spots. And so if you delete one clip and then start recording a new clip, in terms of the raw data, it doesn't all always package perfectly together. And so that can create these scenarios where you have, issues with your media clips get, blanking on the word, but corrupted. That's the word I'm going for. And that is something that is, you don't necessarily want. And so I understand that, but what I've been telling people is I mostly do not do single clip deletion. It is never my goal to do that for the sake of safety for the rest of my clips. But I do like having the option, because there have been times, and tell me if you have this experience as well, where I've gone out to shoot and maybe I forgot to reformat a card, or I just record a really long clip by accident, or I just don't need that really long clip. And now I have a lot more to shoot, but I don't have a ton of space left on my card. I would love to be able to just delete that one clip. And 98% of the time, I'm fine. I don't need to use that feature, but it's nice to have. It's nice to have it. What's the name of the app? It's called Bluetooth Plus. I think I can do this. I'll copy the app and post it in chat here. That way you guys can easily find it. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, so this isn't like an affiliate link, or I'm not trying to make sales or anything for them. It's a cool app. I've been using it the past couple of years. So there you guys go in the chat. Let's see. Camera companies or tech companies need to up the storage issues we are having. We need to say cheap 50 terabyte devices for large files. Yeah, I mean, thankfully hard drive space has come down. I mean, it's a lot less expensive than it used to be. I mean, you can buy, the fact that you can get a 16 terabyte hard drive now for what, $200, $250. Like it's not cheap. Like, trust me, I get you on the, like, needing to invest a couple thousand into storage is not an easy task to do. But it definitely has come down. Solid state, I will happily see come down. Or codecs in small sizes with same capabilities. Yeah, and that's why I've always liked B-RAW, is because it's really, really good at, like, I shoot constant quality Q5, and to me that's the best balance, where like it's incredibly high quality. I don't feel like I'm losing any of my bit rates or anything like that, but the file sizes are still manageable. Yeah, they're higher than like H.264 or 5 or something, but they're much less than DNG RAW or RAW from my Ronin. So it's very good. Does the app have live view? No, it does not. That is the one feature that does not transmit over Bluetooth for Blackmagic cameras. I know a lot of Sony and I believe Canon users and Panasonic even. Some of those cameras have that ability. My Canon EOS R does, but no. Right now, the biggest update to being able to get a preview of your camera is in this latest update, just being able to connect via USB-C, and that works. And actually, I'll test it out because obviously in my video, I had an issue with it, but Blackmagic kind of told me like, hey, you just need to you need to switch your video inputs. So I'm going to connect my camera right now. I'm going to plug it into the computer just via USB-C, not any sort of HDMI converter or anything. All right, let's see if this works. I'm going to show you guys my screen here. Can you see OBS? Make it a little bigger. That's some inception right there. So let's go and try this. I'm just going to do new input, do video capture device. Let's see if Blackmagic. There it is. Boom. Live. Yeah, so it should be that simple. And I don't know why it didn't work when I first did the update, but now it seems to be working flawlessly. And that looks really good. So, super cool looking at all those. Oh, you guys didn't hear me, did you? You guys couldn't hear me for the whole past couple minutes, could you? Awesome. Well, yeah, if you couldn't hear me, all I was doing was connecting my Blackmagic camera to the use as webcam, and it works great now. So I can go into video capture, add new thing, Blackmagic design, boom. And it should be as simple as this. So now we have that in there. It works. It's great. Oh, you could hear me. Okay, apparently there's multiple audio inputs. Maybe that's why. Am I still echoing? I thought when I changed scenes, only one of the devices works. One of the audio inputs. Let me know if the audio is still bad or anything. Or if this is good. Let's see. I know it's not related, but how come Sony does not have anything like that app? Oh, like the Bluetooth Plus app? I don't know about Sony. I thought they had their own app. Because I thought or maybe that's just on the Xperia phones. Because I know everyone like who has an FX3 loves using that setup where it's like an FX3 and then they have like their phone on top as a monitor or something. And that's how you can like use that combo together. But maybe that's just Sony phones that have that feature, and it's not like a third-party app you can download to see it. Yeah. Let's see, what other comments did we have on that video? Welcome, new people. What do you guys think about, while I look through this, what do you think about DaVinci Resolve and AI stuff? Do you, I don't know if you saw Mr. Alex Tech video the other day, but do you all think that there's going to be some sort of AI generative fill for video coming in Resolve 19? Hopefully Resolve 19 we see soon. See, I think it's just going to be the text. I think it's just going to be that, like kind of maybe some more features that dive deeper or give us more control over the editing via text, where you can, select everything. And I know some people kind of corrected me that, because one of the features I called out was for the auto cutting of the A roll, and that there is a way to take out breaths or whatever, and you can kind of control that. And that's true. I did kind of forget about that feature a little bit, but I think it could be more refined or have more control over it to very quickly kind of cut down A rolls. But I should test that out. Maybe I'll make that. I think that's a good video for this channel, actually. Probably if Premiere already had that in line. It is true. The only thing and the only reason that that like Alex suggested as well is Premiere, or Adobe in general, is a subscription model. So they have the ability to kind of charge people on an ongoing basis for this new source of AI material and these features that use a lot of cloud server, because every time you do generative fill, it's accessing a server. It's not happening locally. If you are offline, I believe, you cannot use generative fill at all, because it has to access their servers, and that takes a lot of money and a lot of precious internet bandwidth. And so they have the ability to kind of, as they're continuously charging, they can kind of work that into their, per customer cost, essentially. Whereas Blackmagic, although they started their subscription model for Blackmagic Cloud, it's very clear they don't like subscription models. You buy DaVinci, you pay one time, you have it forever. Blackmagic Cloud, yes, it's $5 a month. They made it as cheap as they could. Yes, you can buy the storage, which is quite expensive, but I don't know if I see them adding like, oh, hey, here's, for an extra $20, $30, whatever the price point is, now you can access our AI features or something. That's not really the Blackmagic vibe. It could be wrong. Maybe we'll see something like that, but for the most part, I think they like to stick to single purchasable items. But it's a good thought for sure. Need to. I know some people were asking about Ursa and stuff as well, if it's going to receive this update. And I actually someone commented, I totally forgot that the Ursa, is it the G2, the Ursa Mini Pro G2, still doesn't have Gen 5 color science. I need to check on that, because that is insane to me. Here's my keyboard. Yeah, it looks like some of the forums, people are like doing workarounds to try to get Gen 5 type look out of it. But yeah, I believe the 4.6K G2 still doesn't have Gen 5. And that's why I made it in that video where I talked about how I think the Ursa Mini Pro line is going to be the next line to get a upgrade rather than the pockets. I feel like even though they haven't focused on the pockets too much in terms of camera lines, they've done quite a bit in the live production, which I think, broadcast and live production, we have to remember that is Blackmagic's biggest moneymaker. I mean, that's what they're known for. Like, we all hope for the Blackmagic Pocket box camera and all that, but like, I honestly believe these pocket cameras, I don't know the numbers, but I have to believe that these pocket cameras, even the Ursa Mini Pro, like, these are the small kind of fun side hobby projects for Blackmagic in the grand scheme of things. That's why they focus so much on live production. I mean, their switchers, obviously DaVinci Resolve as a software is huge. So like that's their big kind of money makers right there. And but it is surprising that they've not really updated the Ursa Mini line, which is why if they're due for anything, I think they're due for an upgrade in that department to have a real like big production ready camera that has all the bells and whistles. They don't need to change the form factor too much on that camera, but bigger updated screen, updated sensor, and at least access to the Gen 5 and these other features that we just got on these cameras. So the Blackmagic Cloud and all that good stuff. But yeah, it's an interesting time. I mean, NAB is just a couple weeks away, and trust me, like I said in the beginning, I wish that I knew more than I did. But if that was truly the case, I wouldn't be talking about it like this. You know, there are companies that we sign NDAs with and everything, and we kind of just go silent about those companies until things come out. So. And that's why you see at 9 a.m. on certain days, like 10 videos from different creators uploading about the same thing. And at least in terms of Blackmagic and every other creator that I've talked to who has a connection with Blackmagic, they're in the same boat. They don't get told anything in advance. So yeah. Been on here for about 30 minutes. Unless you guys have any other questions. What do you guys think about this live stream setup? Did you enjoy it? Usually I think I'll hop in and do some editing while I chat. Maybe a little hard to multitask, but I thought this was kind of a good first initial stream just to check the setup, make sure everything was working right. And yeah, because I've kind of haven't abandoned this channel, but I definitely want to be on here more. Danny, I really appreciate you. You've been so active in the comments in the chat today. I really, really appreciate that. Let's see. It'd be great to know my opinions regarding AI, Sora, and the future of filmmaking. I know it's a dense subject. It keeps you awake at nights. Oh, no, I'm always happy to talk about AI stuff. To be honest, I think like it's Pandora's box, right? These tools are here now and they're never going to go away. But if I can make you sleep a little bit better, what I see is a pattern with all new technology. As soon as it comes out, there's a influx, right? When ChatGPT was released not too long ago, we saw an influx of people generating everything, like in every industry was immediately impacted from, live production, TV, movies, producers thinking they can just generate a, Hollywood blockbuster hit script from generative AI. And then we had schools and other industry, business and finance, and all these tools are really good at making things efficient. And I think they will 100% work into our workflows. But the way that I see them is they're not going to replace the best of content creation or filmmaking or anything like that. Because while they may replace the really low level stuff, like the stuff we see in, you guys know, when you scroll social media, you see an ad from a company. I firmly believe we will see like, oh, let me teach this AI model my silly little product or whatever, and I don't want to spend the budget on a high quality commercial, so I'm just going to have AI create a script, and then Sora's going to create the video, and we're going to put it out there. And I'm sure it'll make those like e-commerce brands a lot of money. They will work to an extent. But think about why we loved, Top Gun Maverick a couple years ago, and why that was a talking point for months in the filmmaking world. We loved it because humans went out of their way to do something really difficult. We know how to make good CGI skies and planes and dogfights. We've seen it 1,000 times in movies, and we're not very impressed. it's going to be no different than like we're already kind of exhausted by these AI tools. So will they work? Yes, but will they completely take over? No, because humans like seeing what other humans create. And so I love it because I use it in like all of my thumbnails, but I don't use it in the kind of cheap, fast way of just AI model, make me a good thumbnail for my video. No, it's my concept, it's my, photographs and things like that. But it saves me a ton of time where I used to have to clone stamp and paint out certain things in the background. Like if something on my desk I don't want and I want to make it more simplistic, then then I can use generative fill to just make those little moments more efficient. It allows me more time to focus on the actual creative part of the process. So that's what I see it as. That's why it doesn't really keep me up at night, because I just see it as a way to be more efficient in the mundane tasks that we do as creatives, and gives us more time to focus on our actual art. So yeah, that's my couple minute spiel on the current state of AI. I'm not too worried about it in the grand scheme of things. I mean, we all thought, was it cryptos and what's the art one? I can't even remember. Not tokens, but the AI art that everyone was selling for way above value. Like that stuff all comes and goes, and it works. It has its 15 minutes, but yeah. So anyway, I think I'll end it on that note. I really appreciate you guys hanging out in the chat. Hope to do this more in the future. Maybe we'll do this once a week or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But yeah, if you guys want to continue learning more, support me, anything like that, check out the description. Got some links down there. And I'll see you guys in the next one. So thanks for hanging out with me.